Okay. Before class, we have discussed about uh, history and introduction of the Animate CC, right? So today I'll explain about the interface of the software, right? Yes. So from full HD, so I'm taking a file, one file. This is the file, the full HD file. Okay. The size is width to 1920 by height to 1080. Okay. See, this is the interface of the software. First, let's understand what is interface and what are the things are involving in the interface, right? Suppose see here, the left side tools are displaying. Actually, see the left side. Why the left side only? Because here, suppose there is a workspaces are there. Just click here. In default, it is showing in classic, right? So generally in classic, why we are keeping this interface in classic? It look like a Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, because already we used Photoshop and Illustrator interfaces now. So the similarity is there. So for the newcomers, for the new students, learning Animate CC is really very easy if it is look like your previous software. So that is the reason. Try to keep this in a classic only, right? Otherwise, you can keep this in Animator also. Suppose if you place this in Animator, see all the setup has been changing, right? It look like a new thing, new software. It has some confusion for the new people, new students, right? If it is in classic, na, so it look like your previous software like Illustrator and Photoshop. So these are the Animator display or workspace. The setup, everything has been changed, right? It is very new look like, right? And suppose if you click here in the basic, so this is the basic display interface. So most of the properties and most of the detailing details are missing, right? So if you want to see in very basics now, you can keep this in basic here, right? Otherwise classic already we have checked this in classic. And suppose debug and designer and developer, what all this? See, the Animate CC we use for the 2D games, right? So there you find the bugs. To identify the bugs, there is an interface for them, right? To check the bugs and all. So these are their interface. It is a very simple and very minimum details are showing here, right? So and then designer, this is for web designers. Web designers also, they use this Animate CC. So that is, this is the interface for them. Okay, so these are the setup, and this is for the developers, for the web developers. This is the setting. Okay, interface. See, things are changing. If you observe, for each interface, each workspace, the details are changing, right? And this is the essentials. In essentials mode, your timeline and layer panel is coming down. Okay, sometimes most of the people, artists, animators, they use this also, right? If you want, you can keep this here also, or otherwise try to keep this in a classic mode. So click on this classic mode. See, the tools are left side showing and right side properties. Okay, let us check after a workspace what are the things are displaying. These are the tools. So tools, if you check these tools, all tools are similar to your Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop, because it is the same family. The software, it is coming from the Adobe family only, so the similarity is there, right? For applying shortcuts and tool functionality, everything will be the same, right? So later on I'll check what are the differences and what new things are there in. Yeah, this is the menu bar. In menu bar, if you observe here, this is the home button, okay, and this is at a file. When you click on this file, under file, options are there: new from template, open, browse in bridge, recent files. If you have any recent files, you can open here. Otherwise, close all, save as template, save all, import and export, convert to HTML file, and these are the publish settings. So publish, action scripting settings, and exit. So these are the common things. Most of the uh, all illustrators, the file, under file, these are the common settings are there. Other settings we'll check later on once, right? And in edit, see here, this is undo, run commando, and redo, undo, redo, control Z, control Y, these are okay. Copy, paste in center, paste in place, paste plus clear, duplicate to select all, deselect all, invert selection, find and replace, find, next, timeline, and preferences. For any software, if you want to give any changes now, you can go with preferences. Under preferences, you can check your required modifications, right? So in future, maybe if you want, you can changes to, right? You can do your changes, the font making and keyboard shortcuts. And this is what a view. Yeah, in view, this is the go to the first frame, home, previous, so next to last, and zoom in, zoom out, to magnification, zoom levels, so 25%, 100%, 50%, 200%. And this is the previous preview mode. In outlines, fast, anti-alias, so anti-alias text to full. And these are the rollers and grid and guides, snapping, hide objects, show tab order, and screen modes. These are very common things are coming here. The few things are that we'll check, right? And this is inset, it's a new, right? So inset, new symbols, the symbols are there. In coming classes we'll discuss what are the symbols are there, okay? And this is timeline, layer folder, frame, keyframe, blank keyframe, and the scenes. And here modify, this is a document, okay? So from modify, and these are the options are there. There is bitmap, and about the symbols, you can convert this into symbol, and shape options, combine objects, timeline, transform, arrange, align, and group objects, right? So text, so when you use text, there are text properties, text options are there, the font sizes and styles, okay? And alignments, these are letter spacing, embedding of fonts, and commands. The commands are for the web designers and for the developers, right? These options, these two options, debugging and commands, those people particularly who work with web designing and web developing, so these are the menus for them, right? And this is the control. So control means you can play your movie here, test movie, test scenes, and test, clear, publish, cache, and timeline. About all these things we study from control menu, right? And this is a debug. So I told you this is for the find the bugging, right? So in Animate, and this is the window menu. Under window menu, these are the all panels will display here. So side panels, already few panels are displaying, the tick marks are showing here. If you want more, you can click on any one. So suppose this is library, popping out and popping in. And this is help. You connect with help, connect with web, internet. You can connect to Adobe animator.com, right, to animate help. Okay, this is the menu bar, right? And under the menu bar here, if you observe here, see, this is particularly, this is a layer area, right? Layer panel showing here, and suppose here the plus, so you can add more layers, okay, and otherwise delete layers. And suppose these are the layers, so click all these layers with the shift, and you can add into your folder. See, this is already added into that folder. Otherwise you can delete this also and delete and delete. Okay, this is dustbin. And what is this? So here it is view only active layers. So when you use multi layers, so many layers here, okay, so but we are working with only one particular layer, so all layers you don't want to see. So then in that case what you do, so select all these things, and you can click on this, so automatically they're they're changing, they are hiding actually. Suppose see, if you click here again, it is showing, and again click, the layers are hiding, right? So when you animate many objects, so sometimes you'll get big confusion. To avoid that one, use this option, view only active layer, right? So delete this. Okay, and this is what, this is a camera, add camera for your animations, right? In the coming classes we add all those things. And here it is showing parenting view. So parenting view, what, if you click here, the parenting view, when you animate one object, suppose that can be a parent, and you can attach your children's to the parent. So parent can move one direction, the same direction your children also can move, right? So we will discuss in the coming classes about this also. And this is what create the layer depth. Click to evoke a layer depth. The layer depth is what you can create the depth XYZ. Okay, so that also we discuss in the coming classes. Okay, and this is what the highlight layer. Suppose this is the highlight color. Okay, so suppose this is the highlighting, and you can click on this again, showing and hiding, right? And here it is the box color. When you click here, your outline color of the layer you can change here. Come here and you can change whatever the color you want, you can change, right? Suppose now it is showing here. And this is what visibility of the layer. Suppose the many layers are there, sometimes you don't want to see that particular layer, so you can off the visibility, or otherwise this can apply to all the layers also when you click here, right? And of course this is locking, and come here, and this is what a frame rate showing. So it is the subject. I'll explain in one lesson what is frames and what are the actual frame rate for the animation, we'll discuss. But here in default it is showing 30 fps, right? So 30 fps is what frames per second. In animation, generally we measure animation in seconds and feet, right? Not in minutes and hours. It's not a video recording, right? So manually animators have to do. So you cannot measure your whole animation in minutes and hours, right? Seconds or feet. Okay, and here it is showing one frame. So present we are at one frame, and nothing is there here. Suppose here if you place anything, suppose I added one more empty frame. Now your cursor is here and it is showing it is at a 10, and slowly it is going back. Okay, and this is what So this is step backward to previous keyframe. Yeah. So these are the keyframes. Suppose click here and click here. So when you place any keyframe, so automatically this will move to that area. So indicating keyframes, and this is what insert keyframe. Okay. So these are the animated related things. I'll explain one by one clearly in the coming classes. Keyframe, blank keyframe, and frame, and auto keyframe. So these are the things. Okay. And this is what onion skin. So selected range. Onion skin means what? Sometimes there is a rough drawing. You place here your rough drawing or any photograph reference. Over on that, we create a new layer. Then we trace at that. Okay. So from a rough drawing to the new layer, we want to see the onion skinning, right? You want to see as a onion skin, as a transparent layer. So you have to use this option, onion skin, right? So in onion skin, there are some options are there. We'll discuss about all these things because it is a subject of a new thing. So definitely I'll explain. Suppose today we are discussing only for the interface. Okay. And this is what edit multiple frames. Here we have multiple frames, selected range, all frames are anchor markers, and here it is showing center frame, alt plus shift plus C. Center frames, your animation is there sometimes with so many frames. When you click here, your center frames automatically it shows the center frame, and here I already applied this onion skin. Click this. Okay, and this is what loop. Suppose after completing your animation, if you want to see the same animation again and again and repeatedly in a loop way, so click on this loop, and this is what a step back one frame. Suppose this is your entire animation is there, you click here, so you're coming back or otherwise forwarding. See, the cursor is coming here. Of course, here to see nothing is there on stage because I'm not teaching any animation now, just we are discussing about our interface. Now see, right, it is moving one step away, it is moving, right? So otherwise it is going back. And this is what the play head. Suppose see, when you play your animation, there is an animation in stage, it shows. This is what a flash internal player, right? Check your animations as a preview, and can understand multiple times. You can see your animations and do corrections, and finally you get the final animation, right? So this is the player particularly, right? And this is what here reset timeline zoom to the default. Suppose here it is resize timeline. So here I am pushing this knob, and the boxes here it is becoming bigger or otherwise very smaller. Okay, and even manually also will do the same. Suppose here by clicking this, it is manually increasing and decreasing, right? And this is what to set the reset, it coming to normal. Okay, yeah, and this is a timeline. Timeline means what? Your entire animation will record on each frame on the timeline. So here showing number of frames here. Suppose here 130. Just click here and drag here. Even after reaching your cursor here, this last frame, and unlimited frames will add, right? Unlimited frames will add here, and so for each and every 5 frames, so 60, suppose 65, or otherwise come to here, make it bit bigger here, you'll understand. Yes. Okay, so I'll remove all this. And now see, this is 1 and this is 5 and this is 10. So for each 5 frames, it is separated by light gray color. That means what? To understand uh, the frame number very easily. Suppose somewhere you are there at 40 frame. So if you want to check move 5 frames back or 5 frames forward to uh, find that exact frame, it is very easy, right? Okay. Okay, so you can drag down and move up, and suppose here also you can drag this side and that side. Okay, and suppose you can move, suppose this is your color a panel, you can move this one, you drag here, and suppose drag here and drag here. You can change whatever your panels, timeline panels, or whatever, all these tools and everything, right? Suppose you can change here this side and that side. Okay, and after changing, what will happen? After changing, what will happen? Uh, when you reset your program, suppose here, reset your workspace, classic, reset. When you click on the reset, everything is going back to normal, right? So this is very helpful sometimes when you work with any project. You can dispose all these things. So in an improper manner, if you work around your stage, this is stage actually, right? So on stage, characters can perform. Not this is artboard or Photoshop document. It is a stage. On stage, your characters will perform, right? Yeah, this is your interface of the software, right? The next class, I'll explain tools one by one. Okay, so thank you.